this is Seneva.
And this is Johannes.
And we're watching Board Game Ramblings.
And welcome back to this second episode of the top 100 board games of all time.
Yes.
If you have not seen the first one, go watch that. We go through obviously the first 10, but also some clarifications on how we made the list and stuff like that.
Yes.
So this time there's really no reason to spend hours and hours on the introductions.
No.
We're just gonna jump right into these are the 90 through 81 board games of all time. According to us, these are obviously just subjective lists.
Yeah.
If you have not subscribed to our channel yet, you can do it now. Actually, how do you do that?
I think you're clicking the subscribe button. It's actually in our own language, I've learned.
You can have it in your own language.
I do.
I have it in English.
I have it in Norwegian.
You do?
Yes,
Oh,
I do.
I don't. Maybe I have. I might have. I never actually thought about it. And also, leave a like, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the games in this video.
Yes.
Yeah, so we just jump right into it.
Should I start?
You can begin.
I am the starter.
You're the starter.
I don't know.
I'm the loser. I don't know.
Number 90, we're jumping right into it, is Castell. This is a game with a cool theme. It's a theme which it's about a sport.
Yes.
Which is like stacking people in
Climbing on each other.
on
It's
each
not...
other, making a human tower.
Yes.
And so you have like these different value people, which are like from 9 to 1, and you have to like have the biggest numbers at the bottom and climb higher and higher. And you have the different things you can train yourself to be better at. So you're basically breaking the rules of how to build a human tower, and you want to travel around in the country and attending different
Competitions,
shows.
yeah.
Competitions. Yes.
That's
Really
absolutely
cool.
one thing I want to say. I forgot it in the last video, so I was going to add it in here, which makes no sense, but I'm doing it anyways. Is that we don't know each other's lists.
Oh, yeah.
That is like
Well,
one thing we always
completely
say
forgot.
at the beginning of all top 10 lists. But just so
To
you
tell
know, we're going to
people.
try to remember to say it at the beginning of each of the
Yeah.
videos. So yeah, I don't know what my number 90 is. I had to check. Okay, my number 90 is Castell.
Nah. What? Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my god! It's a real crossover dance.
Yes.
Oh my
And,
gosh!
and the thing is,
That's really cool.
I tricked you now because I wanted to just let the viewers know that we did not know each other's list because, and I had to say it in a way so you did not understand why I said it.
Yeah.
Before I said the number 90, because
That's
when
awesome.
you said Costello, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun because you're going to be so shocked when we have
I was so shocked.
the exact crossover. That's pretty, that is more normal. That might happen in the top 20 or something, but happening here, that's pretty
An
crazy.
exact crossover in the top 100. What are the chances?
And I forgot to do the dance, so we had to do
Dance.
the dun 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 dun.
I like that you're doing
dun,
karate moves.
dun.
That is not
Dun,
karate
dun, dun.
moves.
This is
Sorry
not-
to people who is actually
This
into
is,
karate.
oh, I'm going to karate now. I'm the karate shop
I
man.
think that is like a massage thing. No.
Karate massage. Okay, back to you. Mr.
89
Yes.
is Mystic Vale. I think this game is very cool. We played it quite a few times. It's a deck. It's a card crafting.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
It's a very
card crafting, yeah.
unique mechanism where you actually, it's a kind of a deck builder, but instead of getting more cards, you're just upgrading cards that you already have, and you're buying these upgrades from a market, and you're seeing, okay, this is fitting to my strategy, or this is not, or I'm trying to achieve this. The game in itself is very simple, and I think there's coming some expansion for it, or we have it already, but we haven't played it.
No, there's 8 or 10 expansions, and we don't
need to
own any
get-
of them.
We need to get those because, if I'm playing it again, I want an expansion. I
Yes.
want something more to explore, basically, because
I almost bought a couple in Essen because they were €5 or something, but I
it's
didn't.
a little risk involved as well, because you have these negative things on your card, so you can bust, and then you get a very bad turn.
It has a push your luck element.
Yes,
Yes, so that is your number 89. We don't have a perfect crossover for the next one. My number 89,
it.
back to the heavy games, is a game that when I tried to learn, I'm not trying to take Sam Healy's lost the thing he always did, but talking about the game for 5 minutes before saying the name of the
Yes,
game.
please.
So I'm not gonna do that, but I like having small introductions to the games. It's a different than saying oh, I really like in this game that you do this and this and then say the name. But this is a
What
game.
is the game?
It's Myrms.
Okay.
It is one of the games
Oh my
that
god!
you gave.
I forgot Myrms. No!
How would you forget it?
I forgot it.
You did not add it to the
I
ranking
didn't
then.
add it to the ranking.
Okay, so
Shoot darn it. It's a good
Myrms
game.
It's a good game. It's one of the few games you gave up on learning.
Yes.
Because I tried to teach it to you very early, and I didn't understand it. Nobody understood it. It was on the shelf for many years. Then I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to try this game again. I watched a Rado video. I was like, oh, is that it? Oh, it's easy now when we play games for 5 years, and it's still a very heavy planning. It's one of the games. It's one of the games I know we have where you have to plan the furthest ahead to get anything, because you have this end goal and you have to know exactly what to do every step of the way to be able to get there, or else you will lose and you will not get your ants will die horribly, not in a fire, but they will not be happy.
Observation, most likely. But
More likely than fire.
This is a game that I used to have a notebook for,
Yes.
writing down every action, because if I didn't do it in the correct order at the correct time, or I forgot something, all the points would go away. It would be no points. And so it's a big difference in almost making it and actually making it. So it's very
in real life.
punishing when you do something wrong. But I love the theme that you have your little ant colony and exploring the garden or
Yes.
nature, and then you have to have enough food for the winter. Cool.
That's that one.
Yes. And I forgot it, so that...
Let's say it's your number 101 then.
Yes, it's mine 101. Then it's 88, and that is Forgotten Waters. This is a game that I also want to play more of, because
Yes.
we've begun. It's a story-driven campaign co-op game.
It's not a campaign game.
Oh,
So we
what
don't.
is it
It's
then?
just scenario based. So you
Scenario-based.
don't have. There's not a cohesive story going forward.
And it's almost, this is stupid to say, but to me, I don't consider it like a board game. It's more an activity, but you have actually worker placement spots and you do board gamey thing, but I'm here for the quirky theme and the fun writing and the cool story and the very cool voices. So that is why I'm there, and the other stuff is cool too. But
Did you hear it? Sunwa was being not nice to games that are not heavy.
But I said before, this is not what I mean, but the story is why.
This is not what I
I'm
mean,
there.
but the game is horrible. It's a very good game. No, but
you kinda get
it's
it.
kind of yeah. When
And I'm not playing it to play a worker placement game.
No, but to make sure it is a game.
Yes,
It is. It is activity-based games are still games.
Absolutely.
When I play Unlock, I play board games, but it's
Yes.
not it's different reasons to play the games.
Yes.
I think some people get provoked when we say an activity
Okay.
and not a game, but
Yes.
it's not that meant that way. It is a
No.
positive
I
thing.
think I explained it well enough.
Yes, and then
Yes.
I did it poorer. Okay, next up, my number 88 is Blackout Hong Kong.
Cool.
The most underrated game from Alexander Pfister. I don't know what happened. This was super hyped. 2018 Spiel. 2017 was Great Western Trail, which was a huge hit, super hyped. Then, of course, when you make something after that much of a hit, it's going to be hard. And Blackout Hong Kong was 2018, and people rushed to get it, and then nobody heard about it ever again. It was just it was just not played and nobody talked about it. We played it when it came out once, and for some reason we played it once and then didn't play it again. And then last year, for Keeper Kel, we pretty early on, you can go in March or something last year, we played this, and it was a lot of fun. It's a very good game. Is it the best Alexander Pfister game? Spoiler alert, it's not, but it is a very good one that I enjoy. I like it.
I agree. It's a very solid game. I like it as well. You want to explain what the game is about
No.
briefly? No.
It's fine. It's about playing. You do missions, play cards, and move around on a map. Yes, it's a game. You can hear more about the specific games on other videos.
Yes. 87 is Escape the Curse of the Temple. This is one of the games that have been in our collection for a long time. It's by designer Christian Amundsen Østby, which is Norwegian, which is cool.
And it's our friend, so you
Yes.
only have it here because he's our friend.
No, I like this before it was our friend.
Yes.
And it's a real-time game where you all cooperate to get out of the temple. But to get out of the temple, you have to collect these crystals
Yes.
to break the curse. And the way you do that is you're rolling dice Yahtzee style to get the symbols you need to move to the specific rooms and to get the crystals activated, basically. And we have the big box, so we have all sorts of expansions for it.
Yeah.
You can play according to this mission chart, which makes it harder and harder and adds more stuff, and it's an overall really fun game to play.
I agree. It is one of my favorite real-time game. Really enjoy that one.
Yes.
My number 87 then is Sangu. This is one of the What's Your Game games, which is a very great one. You have these cards with different numbers, you play them to do actions. Most games have actions, this one has two. And you have to build the wall, the Great Wall, you're building that, you're sending out for people for area majority, and doing all kind of these things. This is one of those games where you can really focus on in-game points, or you can focus almost completely on endgame scoring. So I think like I was like 100 points ahead of you, and you almost won at the end because I had you had almost 100 points for endgame scoring.
That's really
and
cool.
it is really, really nice in that way that you can basically plan out for very different kind of strategies. Really enjoy it for that. Great game. Happy that we finally have it. Almost bought it many times. Then we bought it. And we played it, and it's fun.
I agree. Like how you play your cards with the values and also the symbols on them is really cool. I like how you're distributing abilities and like workforce to your areas to do the stuff that you want to do, and just a very solid and fun game. Very tight.
I agree.
And then we have 86, and it's Foothills. This is a 2-player version of Snowdonia. We have culled both Alubari and Snowdonia, but we have kept Foothills.
Yep.
And I think Foothills is a really solid 2-player version of the positive things that I think is in Snowdonia and Alubari. I think it's a really fun 2-player game where you basically build rails. No, you remove rubble to build rails and build the stations. Yes.
And other stuff. It's
Stuff.
a very fun one. I enjoy it as well. It is one of the more like deeper 2-player games that's not that long.
Yeah.
Really like it. My number 86 is another game from 2021. I'm saying another because we had a few on the last one. Spoiler if you did not see that. It is Welcome to the Moon.
Cool.
It was very high on both of our top 100, no, top 10, not top 100 2021. Really, really great game. I had so much fun playing it. 8 different maps, 8 different games. We have played half of them, I think. Would love to go back and play the rest.
Yes.
Really, really enjoyed it. Welcome to... I don't know the rest of the name. It's pretty good. I like this more variability, more enjoyment in the different, like the variations were more interesting. Story was not good, but the rest is good.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very solid roll, flip and right game. I enjoy the core mechanism. I think it's done in a very clever way with all the different maps now. Very, very good game.
Good game.
And then we have 85, which I think is the only one from this list that we don't own. And
I know what it is then.
yes, what is it?
It starts with an L.
Yeah.
And then an A.
Yeah.
Then an N.
Yeah.
Then a
Just
C.
say it.
Then an A.
Yeah.
Then an S.
Yeah.
Then a T.
Yeah.
Then an E.
Yeah.
Then an R.
And what is that? Lancaster.
Oh, I was
One
gonna
more
say-
time.
Lancaster.
Yeah.
Second time. Burger
Yes.
face.
So Lancaster is a worker placement games where you have workers with different like heights or
Yes.
values. So if I
Or
go
both.
so if I go to a worker placement spot with a 1 and you go there with a 3
2
later,
and a 3 and a 4.
and then you will win it, and then I can move him to another place which I want to go to. You want to do it all. That is the hard part, because it's so many things that seem very important to you, so it feels very tight all the time, and you have to always like, oh, okay, then I have to give up on this spot because I see that you will fight for it, and I will go to secure this spot instead, which is really, really interesting mechanism.
It is basically an auction mechanism of doing those worker placement
Yes.
spots. A really clever game. One we have to get, like somehow get a
Yes.
hold of, hopefully like the big box version. It's a very good game.
Yeah.
That was 85. My 85 then is Panamax.
Cool.
This is one I really like. It's a best for 4 players. You are getting goods, putting them on ships and sending them through the Panama Canal, trying not to place their boats sideways so nobody gets through and nobody gets their stuff. You don't actually do it in the game. It took some time before you got that.
I
That
wasn't listening.
that was like a real life event reference, which means we also follow things that not happen in board games.
Yes.
Even though it was because of board game people, we knew this was happening. But yes, you are pushing boats or ships. You can put your goods on other people's ships and hopefully they will send it away and get you points. A lot of different nice mechanisms here, a deeper economic game. Really enjoy it, and I hope to play it again. It will be interesting to see how we will play it again for Cape Coral. It will be interesting to see if it goes up and down next year.
Yeah, I only played it once, but what I remember is that it's really tight on money because like it costs so much to like get these boats around, and so you want to. It's a very tight economic game, and it hurt my brain, but I want to play it again. I'm looking forward to play it for Cape Coral. Then we have my number 84, which is Seven Wonders Duel. And this is a game that I have had a hard time placing on this list because it's so long since we played it.
Is it going to be number 1 or number 80 something?
Yeah, but it's really solid. I think it's a very clever way to make the solid mechanisms for Seven Wonders work very well for 2 players. I have to say though that this is the placement with the expansion.
Yes.
I think the expansion is essential for this game.
The first one, we have not played the other one.
Yes, the first expansion is essential for this game and makes it much more interesting for me, and I think it's a really good 2-player game. I really want to play it again because it's been so long since we played it.
It has, and we have another expansion for it as well.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Yes, it's a good 2-player game, not so good with 3. It is very nice open draft, basically, which I think is a nice drafting, to make drafting work for 2 players in a neat way.
Yes.
So my number 84 then is Beyond the Sun.
Okay,
This is basically tech treated game, very abstract-ish game where you get new technologies and you use the technologies to basically get more technologies and just trying to move up this tech tree the best way possible to score the most points. A very quick game, lots of stuff going on for such a quick game. I love games where I feel like after it, I feel like I have gotten more out of it than the time I put into it. Like I feel like, oh, this was a lot of great game for such a short time, basically. I really enjoyed this one.
It feels kind of like a race too, because you're more people competing to like go to the next level of tech, and you then get to like decide what will be there, and you also get some bonus, I think, for it, and also you use your resources in a very, very interesting way, like both production wise, but also with the dice that you can go out and to explore the space with. Really, really cool game.
I like it.
I like it as well. My number 83 is a party game. It's One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
Oh wow, you actually have it in top 100.
Yeah, I had it in my top 50 before, so it has actually dropped.
Dropped a lot.
But it's still very high for this kind of game because we very seldom...
For you.
Yeah, because we very seldom play bluffing games. But
it's not your favorite style of game, is it?
It isn't. But I think it's done very cleverly in this game. I think that I've had some amazing moments with laughing and like nervousity with this.
And crying?
Yeah, crying as well. By laughter with this game. You're basically like have a hidden role.
Yes.
And things happen during the night, like the seer sees one character, troublemaker switches around some characters, and basically when you all wake up, the werewolves are trying not to get caught, and you don't know how many werewolves there are, and you're trying to like come with information to expose the other players or hide yourself, and it's very, very interesting. Very interesting that what do you call it, interaction between players with that kind of information involved.
I never liked this game. I don't think it's very interesting, but I know you have played it with many other people and you have enjoyed it.
Yes.
It's a very group-dependent game.
Yeah,
I remember the first time we played it, where like we didn't understand anything about what was fun, and I had more fun with it after that. But it's not a game that is for me. Yes. But I would like to see, like you say, I would like to see more roles. Like for example, you have the seer that sees, the hearer that hears, the taster that tastes, the smeller that smells. That would be a really nice expansion for that game.
Yeah.
So it would not. It would
You
be
should
horrible.
pitch it.
I already
And then
earned
the smeller
$1
will
million.
smell all the people.
Smell and other people. The player who smells the worst is the werewolf.
Yes.
If you have bad hygiene, bad for you. You're gonna always be the werewolf in this game. Then we have 83 for me is Patchwork.
Cool.
It is a Tetramino game from Uwe Rosenberg, the best of his Tetramino games. There might be other Uwe Rosenberg games on the list. Spoiler, but it's not going to be Patchwork
But is
for
it
me
with
because
Tetramino pieces? No, I wonder.
probably.
Might be.
But Patchwork is a very nice two-player game. Very straightforward. I usually end up with negative points. The one time I win against you is my best moment in my life.
Yes.
It's a very, very nice little game where you are making this little patchwork with your patches, with buttons, and you try to get buttons, which is the money in the game, buying you to get even more buttons, to buy even better stuff, and be the best at making a quilt. It's a fun game. I like it.
Yeah, the timing is really cool because the more time you use, then the less the things you get done. So you have to like pick your quilt pieces.
Pick your battles of
Wisely.
quilt wisely.
Very, very good game. Then we have my 82,
Uh-huh.
which is Carpe Diem, another Stefan Feld game. We played this recently.
Yes.
It's one of his lighter games, but it has
And later. So it was like lighter and later. In the same
and it has some
run.
really cool mechanisms, both in the way you choose your tiles, and that feels very tight. And also, when you go to scoring at the end of the round, you have to pick like 2 scorings, and if you can't score one of them, you get negative points. So you block the places that you're already scored, so it gets tighter and tighter. So really cool and thinky little game.
Yeah, I like it. Like mostly the scoring makes it stand out to me.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
the moving and doing the tile placement is fun, but it's fun because you're doing it to get to those crunchy, hard scorings. So it's a light
agree.
game to play, but it's hard to get those scorings done in a great way.
Absolutely.
So my number 82, Dan, is another game. Dun,
Cool.
dun, dun. And it is another legacy game called My City.
Cool.
And we haven't finished it. We have like 2 plays left. You let me know that every day. But if it were, if we only played it 2-player, we could have finished it like long ago. But the last player moved away, and it's like, haha, you can't play it now, can you? You losers. He didn't say actual those words. That was not the
Not
reason.
like him.
It was not the reason he moved away. So he was like, haha, I'm gonna move now, so you can't play My City. And we've cried and
Suckers.
cried. But yes, it's a very good game. Like, it might have been higher. It's again like it's a legacy game. Never gonna play it again. Really like it. It's very simple Tetramino game. You in the beginning of the game, you're not gonna spoil anything about what happens later. You flip a card. It's a shape. Everybody has to place that shape. Next time you flip a card, it's a shape. Everybody has to place that shape, and you do that until the game ends, and you get some points for different things throughout the game. But it's very simple, very quick. Not story driven at all, which is great because that story would have been horrible, but it's a very fun legacy game from Ryan Knizia.
This is a game
It is.
which is like, it's an addiction to me. Like, when we played it, I just wanted to play that. When we were finished with the game, I was just like, oh, let's go to the next one.
Yes.
And that's the only thing that's positive which about having not finished it, is that we have actually 2 games left of it.
Yes.
I'm super excited
That
because
is true.
it's super, super, super duper fun.
It is great.
I like it. I love it. Then we have 81, which is Trails of Tucana. This is a roll and write
So
game.
good.
And one of my favorites in that genre, I think.
And one of your favorites because it's in your top 100.
Yes, it's absolutely that. That makes sense. And it's so cozy.
Uh-huh.
And you basically flip through cards, and it's terrain types, and you have to like make a road or like a, what do you call it?
Line, yes, I was thinking as well.
Between those 2 types of terrain, and you basically want to connect different cities, and you want to connect your roads to different symbols, and you want to get points.
Points are good in this game.
It's a very nice game.
I like it a lot. I think it's a very good flip and write. My number 81 then is actually another Alexander Visser game.
Oh.
This one is Boon Lake. The one that came
Lake.
out, Boom Lake, the one that came out in 2021.
Cool.
We have already done a video review and a playthrough of it. That was also a video. I don't know why I said video because we only do videos.
Video review.
Yes, it was a video playthrough as
Here
well.
on YouTube.
It was not an audio playthrough. That would be
No.
really. I move over here, then I place this, I take these two, and I buy a building.
And I do some stuff. That would be my audio
moving down the
review.
road,
Yes.
people will be like, "What's going on? Why
What
is
is
there a
this?"
road there?" And that's an intern joke. If you have seen the playthrough, go and watch it, and then you will find it funny.
Yes.
So it is a very good game. I enjoy most of the parts of it. It has a very nice timing mechanism of moving down the river. It has some nice things that are seen. Like it's a good mix of different mechanisms, making it a fun, thinking game that I like.
I agree. Nothing to add. It's a very solid game. Perfect blend of mechanisms.
Blending, putting things in, blending it, taking out. It's now a smoothie. So yes, that was the end. That was the last one.
Yes.
Another list is done. We hope you enjoyed it. If you are still
It's
here,
not the last one.
no,
More are
it's
coming.
the next one from the last one.
Yes.
This is the second one of 10. We're not going to stop like doing, it's top 100, but we're only going to give you 2 of them. And
Yes.
next year we're going to do the next 2 and so on.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Very
Let's
horrible.
not.
Let's not do that.
Yes.
So yes, that is the end of the video. If you are still here and you have not subscribed, you can do so now by
Clicking the subscribe button, and it's fun and it's free and it makes us happy like this. If you want to do something that's not free, you can go to
patreon.com/boardgamingramblings and support us there. It helps out a lot. And that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunema.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye bye.